Oh, got put, man. Rookie moves. Rookie moves. What's happening, everybody? What is poppin'? Hey, Mr. Oh, he said Mr. Baker on there. I was like, hey, you're Mr. Baker. Mr. Bear. Hey, what's happening, everybody? What's poppin'? That's right. Hey, EJ, what's up, man? Kenny. Jimbo, back in the house. What is that sweeping you do in the one video when you introduce the Friedman guitar? That, I probably need that guitar to play it. The arpeggios in that one. Hold on. Ugh. Just because my hands are not warmed up. This, I literally set up the live stream and I'm grabbing the guitar and playing it right now. So the arpeggios are this. Why am I lefty now? This is just what YouTube wants to do. New pedal stream a couple weeks ago. What were those called? They were called Anna Sounds pedals. I have one of them right here. These guys. The pedals all have this wooden top on them. Alex, what's up, man? I'm just into the Axe effects right now. I cannot flip the video, unfortunately. Hey, Tony. Thank you so, man. I'm so glad you like the EP, buddy. Thank you to everyone who went and purchased the EP today. I really appreciate that. What amp did I use on the EP? I used a bunch of different ones. So like the first song was the Revv Generator. The second song was the Revv Dynamis. The third song was the Dynamis as well. And the fourth song is the BE. About time. I know, right? Yeah, I have so many songs. I have a lot more than 4. It's just those were the ones that people had requested a bunch, and I figured I'd throw one new one on there that I hadn't, no one's heard it before. Oh, well, thank you so much, Tony. Thank you, Big Red Tower. Yeah, for some reason now on YouTube, it's reversing the image. Can I shred? I can attempt to. That's about the best I can do for you. TJ! What's poppin'? Favorite Cinderella song? That's a good question. Probably just Gypsy Road or something like that, or Shook Me or something like that. Open slots for Skype lessons. Seeing people in the chat. in other rooms asking to pass info along. I don't right now. They can message me. The best way to message me is probably through my website. Probably the best way. But right now I do not have any spots available. Thank you though for asking about that, man. Quentin in the house. Did I see Pixie? Oh, sorry, Steve from Boston. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, you know, with the EP, like I said, it's definitely not like the audio quality that I wish it was, but it's one of those things. It's like, well, if I just keep putting it off, you always find a reason to not do it. So I was like, you know, I just need to do it, and then hopefully I can look back at like the next one, and it'll be better. I'm like, oh wow, you know, that first one was awful. I'm so glad I made these improvements. So, got to start somewhere, right? Favorite Rat song? Probably just Lay It Down, you know? Play the solo to LaGrange. How much is the EP? I believe it's like $3.99 or something like that. It's on all like the platforms. It's just I didn't want to link to like 20 different ones, so I just linked to iTunes. That's the one that most people probably have. Can you play Hot for Teacher? Not very well. I don't know any White Line, unfortunately, and I love Vito's playing so much. I would hope. I don't know any Dragon Force at all. I never really. You know, I think everyone had that moment where they were, you know, and they make, you know, totally good music. It's just I like them for a very short period of time. Yeah, please play Lay It Down. I'm not tuned for it, but. I know you don't really know me. Now it's time to surrender. Down print. I think it's the lights are just right here. See? I don't think they're fingerprints. There we go, that might be better. I see the... I don't know what the sponsor button is yet. I haven't looked into it. Man of War. You know, I don't think I've been to enough Man of War to have too much of a opinion on them. I love the Friedman a lot. You know. I'm actually looking into getting one of their classic tees. I've been just so impressed with this one. You know. Whoa. Just wipe the fingerprint from your camera lens. There are no fingerprints. I do not have Eruption down. Should get a Jazz Master. I've looked into those. Mr. Crowley. I don't know how to play it at all. Rush. I started playing when I was 15. Well, I think I got a guitar when I was 14, but I didn't actually. I just kind of sat in the corner after I figured out that guitar was not easy. Would you team up with the Chapman gang? You know, I used to have some Chapmans and stuff, man. And I'm just mainly focused. You know, I like working with guitars that are USA. You know, do a lot of like USA stuff. So that's my main thing. Like I like doing Friedman. Vola has a USA shop. Acacia, you know, all that kind of stuff. Oh, there goes my pick. Oh, but I said Acacia. I've played a couple different Kiesels, and they didn't really get my attention. Same with like Sirs and stuff like that. Now Tom Anderson's, I like them a lot. You know, it's weird. It's like a total personal preference kind of thing. There's just certain guitars that that will get your attention when you play them. Like the Callies, when I played them at NAMM, got my attention right away. And that's why I said I think I'm going to get a classic T. And Tom Anderson's have always done that for me. And the Acacia did that, like the Cronus, like all those, you know, they get your attention when you play them. For me, I should say, you know. And there's all kinds of great guitar builders. I've been waiting on it to announce what this other guitar was that I had ordered. But at Summer NAMM, I played Whitfield guitars, which my buddy Brian Wampler has always spoken very highly of. And I had that moment with them when I played a couple of them. I was just like, oh, okay, these are special. You know, they're Strats and Tellys and stuff like that. So, but I wanted something very particular. You know, not just another Strat or anything like that. I wanted a couple different things with it that I couldn't find in normal Strats. Oh, dude, I love Slash's new album. Salvation comes on Sunday. Resurrection, something comes tonight. We're gonna serve you right. I just talked to Henning the other day. Yeah, I talked to most of the, you know, YouTube guys. It's just we're all busy, you know. We're all doing our own things, and then, you know, we probably talk the most at, you know, NAMMs and in special events. I can't wait to feel your love tonight. You should switch back to right. Well, I wish I could, but that's a YouTube thing you got to take up, not a me thing. I do like James Hetfield. The Cali is light. You know, it's not like an overly heavy guitar. I would say it's like maybe like 7 pounds, 6, 7. I have to weigh it. You know, of course, when you get a Floyd, a lot of times, because you're replacing wood with a whole bunch of metal, that can maybe I don't know if that makes it heavier or not. I guess I'd have to try one of my guitars that aren't like this, but yeah, it's not like too heavy or anything like that. You know, I've played some Super Strats and they're pretty hefty. I wonder if my Sharp Bell feels like. My Sharp Bell is heavier than this, and it's a smaller body. Oh man, Metal X Music. Thank you for putting out the EP out there. When you get a chance, jam on them for us. Also, thanks for the friendship and advice. And all things. Oh, dude, anytime, buddy. I really appreciate the super chat, and I'm always happy to help. You know, as always, dude. So, any questions you ever have, man, you know how to get a hold of me. And, yeah, you know, I can totally, I'll play through some of the songs and stuff. A couple of them I don't have backing tracks for yet. I need to make them, because I'll be playing them. I'm really working hard on that, that sweeping thing. Because you know, like the video you guys see, you know, I do a bunch of takes and I use the best take, but when you're playing them live, you don't get the luxury of being, you know, comfortable and in your own like guitar room and stuff like that. So I've been really like working on them. My hands aren't warmed up right now, but. Build speed and dexterity in your fingers, man. Just practice a lot, you know, and work on minimalizing movement anywhere you can. Got a Charvel because of me. Oh wow, well, thank you so much, man. You know, I love Charvels. They're you know, I was Warren D. Martini who got me into those, and you know, I'm an enormous Warren D. Martini fan. Daniel Barber, wow, I love your positivity, brother. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate that. It's extremely kind of you guys to do all that stuff. I realized something today that, and it was funny, it was a video I thought I had made a long time ago. Here we go. But I realized I have never, someone was asking about a demo of this. I've never demoed my Cronus, like ever. I've had it for a couple years now. And, you know, I was like looking, I was like, I know I've demoed this thing before. I just think I've used it so much. And I was just like, you know what? I never have. I don't think I've ever demoed it. So I'm going to start writing a song tomorrow. And I want to demo that because I get asked about that guitar in particular a lot. Every video I use it in, you know, a lot of people want to know what guitar that is. And another thing I wanted to start doing, and you guys can tell me if you dig the idea or not, but I don't know what to call it. Oh, sorry, camera froze on me. Tobin! Dude, thank you so much, man. Hey, when you get a chance, man, I don't know if you got my messages on Skype or not. But maybe I can snag your your cellular number sometime. We've had such crazy internet issues here lately. It was out all day. We went hiking and stuff just because our internet like was dead at 9 a.m. and I don't know how long. We waited like 3 or 4 hours, and I forget what time they called me, but it was out forever today. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But something I want to start doing is when you guys request a review, like, you know, I'm very fortunate and I get to work with a lot of companies who ask me if I want to review something or demo it, and sometimes I do. A lot of times I don't. But then I have stuff like my orange amp, and you guys ask for these, you know, reviews. I'm trying to think of what I can call it, like requested reviews or something like that. But the whole purpose is it's not associated with a company or brand or anything like that. It's just associated with what I have here that you guys are like, hey, I want to see that. And I'm like, oh, that? Okay. You know. I'm not left-handed. I don't use a whole lot of modulation, to be honest. You dig it? Yeah, I don't know what to call it. Like I like to have names for stuff, so I got to think what I want to call it. But a lot of people have wanted the Brent Hines amp, the Revv. I should probably do an updated video on the Revv because it's the Mark II version. Should learn some Night Ranger songs. I should learn like "Don't tell me you love me, don't tell me I don't wanna know." Something like that, right? The red 1x12, that is actually a Panama 1x12. It's the best tuning for hair metal. Probably like most hair metals half step down. I just never, I like just playing standard. I like the tension on the strings that standard has. I play right-handed. I would switch it over. I don't have my computer, because if I turn my camera the other way, I think it would fix it, but I wouldn't be able to see the chat at all. So that would be the issue there. I played quite a few Joe Satriani Ibanez actually over the years, and they're cool. You know, I'm just not a huge Ibanez guy. I don't know Unchained. I know like a. Yeah, I can't remember how to play that one. Lonely is the night. Humbucker or single coil? I like a humbucker in the bridge and a single coil in the neck is my favorite. I say it in the demo, but I was really impressed with these pickups a lot. The Fishmans are still my favorite, the ones that are in the Cronus right here. But these were like really chimey, you know, pickups, and I was really impressed with them. Aldanova. What is it? Street gauge, I use 10 to 46. 3 or 4 fingers to rock. You know, it all depends. I've never been too picky about that kind of stuff. I play whatever makes the most sense. So sometimes, you know, when I'm bending, I'm like, when I bend, it's like 99% of the time. I always use my one of these 3 fingers. I don't like my pinky too much because how much you have to scrunch your hand down. It just seems uncomfortable to me. But when I do like that kind of stuff, but if I'm just playing, it's just kind of like what makes the most sense. Like to me, this makes sense to have these 3 fingers. If I want to go and throw my pinky in there, I can't. So it all just depends. You know, I like a lot of the big stretchy. Tone Talk, what's poppin', man? Dude, when are you getting your Cali? When are you joining the Cali Club? My buddy Michael got his. And Chris, are you here, Chris? Chris, I think Chris is on the hunt as well. I'm actually doing a video about there's a funny story attached to me getting this guitar, and just a funny chain of events, the way it all unfolded, and I think it'll be a funny, just like an entertaining video. So I'm gonna do that probably this coming week. I just had to wait till I actually had the guitar to do the video. Favorite overdrive? Shout out, please. Isaac, what up, man? You know, my buddy Mike was just asking me this, and I don't really have too many overdrives. I have a lot of distortion pedals. The only one only 2 I can have that I think of is my 808, and I have the Joyo Vintage Overdrive. My favorite Acacia, it is this one right here. And I'm actually going to do a video about relic guitars and about why I like them. If you saw the live stream last night, I talked about it, but this is my favorite Acacia. Because I have a signature. Let me talk. Jeez, if I can get my words correct. I had a signature guitar with them, and you know, as we were going, I was talking to him, and I was like, you know, I think it just makes more sense for me to not have a signature guitar, for me to have an artist spec guitar. So that's kind of like the signature transformed into that. But the thing was, at the time when we built that guitar, I built what in my envision was, you know, my perfect guitar. And it's an amazing guitar. It's sitting over there. I broke the input jack on it. I dropped it and messed it. I just haven't had it fixed yet. But then it was the next year they came out with this. And it was like, this was the guitar I didn't know that I wanted. You know, it was one of those situations. And I've just fallen in love with it. The Cali's actually extremely relict, you know. I'll hold it up closer to the camera here in a minute and let you see it. But, it's just the white doesn't relay that on camera because you're not up close to it, where my cameras are. What distortion pedals do you recommend? It depends on what you're going for, man. So I'm going to be doing a pedal board, and I love, this has continually stayed one of my favorite distortion pedals. The Plexitone by Carl Martin. It's a low gain pedal. Since I got it 4 or 5 years ago, this has just stayed there on one of my that I've always liked. A more recent one I got, what is this one called? I was really impressed with this pedal. What's it called? Cerebrus by Anna Sounds. This is a really cool pedal. I was very impressed with it. So there's 2 of them I'd recommend checking out. God, I'm making lefty. I don't play in any bands currently right now. But Yeah, I'm going to be doing a demo on this guitar now that I've had it for like 2 years. Because I thought I did one and I never did. I'm going to keep the Cali floating probably. Like I said, I'm really looking into a classic T. Jeff over there sent me a picture of one, and I was just like, I was looking at a gold top one, and then they showed me a picture of another one they had built, and I was just like, oh, well, there's no way like this one, but it had sold already. And I really want something with P90s. That's the big thing. Like, I have guitars with P90s in the neck, but I want a P90 in the bridge. So, I've always said, you know, like some people view tones and pedals and stuff like that. Pedals, and I feel like I have quite a few amps now, but I've always been a guitar guy. You know, I'm like, oh, I want like a Kelly sound here. I want a Strat, a Les Paul, you know, now like the SG or something like that. So that's always kind of how my mind has viewed tones. So it wasn't so much always changing amps and changing pedals and all that kind of stuff. I've always just changed guitars. Talkbox, dude, my buddy RJ, look him up. I cannot think how to pronounce RJ's last name, but just did some killer Talkbox videos. I play hack country, man. The only style of music that I don't consider myself a hack in is rock. Ooh, you know what? The Edwards Les Pauls are very, very nice. So I'm thinking about, I'm still hesitant to call the video. So when I demo this one, what I want to call this guitar, what I want to call the video, which I think will upset some people, but we'll just have to wait and see, is I want to call it the Les Paul Killer. And like the only reason I feel comfortable saying that is because I own a Les Paul, and where's it at? It's right there. And I love my Les Paul to death. You guys know how much I love it. But I feel like there's just so many things that are better on this guitar than a Les Paul that it's kind of like, you know, Gibson has done all kinds of crazy stuff and all these weird things, and I feel like this is still that classic single coil kind of shape. It looks, you know, some people like and dislike the horn, but I'm 29. But I'm just like, man, you know, it's comfort cuts, it's a lighter body, so many things. Yeah, so it's nothing against like taking a dig at Gibson or anything like that. It's just, you know, I feel like this is, you know, made a lot of important improvement. They still have the volute back here, just all kinds of little things, and I'm like, man, you know, and this isn't that much more expensive than what your Les Paul is gonna be. So, so old. Larry Riker! Dude, guys. Larry, cool guy, just released a book, a guitar book. It's really, really cool. I shared it on Facebook and stuff like that. So, congrats again on that, Larry. That's extremely cool. What an accomplishment. Round, round. Oh, I have a Saddler. I mean, Infestation. All of them are good. Sorry. Oh, Jake's. Hey, Jake. What's up, man? Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who went and bought the EP today. I don't know how many have sold or anything like that. I don't want that until tomorrow. But I just, like, the messages, people have been messaging me, sending me screenshots that they bought it and just telling me what their favorite track was. And I really, really do like feel thankful for that. So, oh, Mark, thank you, man. Like I said, it's not like this big produced thing. They're very raw, and because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm recording, so I love the Fishmans. I still like. You know, I originally had the Seymour Duncan Antiquities in here, which are amazing pickups. I love the Antiquities, but it was just like I loved the guitar. It sounded so good. It was just like it was missing something. When I put these pickups in the guitar, it's when the guitar. It was just like these were meant for this guitar for whatever reason. You know, whatever works with the wood, whatever that kind of stuff is. But I think the classics are, out of all the pickups I have, are my favorites. Because they're so versatile, and they're it's weird because they're actives, but they're so, like, EMGs all feel small and compressed. You know, in the right hands, people can make them sound good, but in my hands, I've never connected with EMGs and so many of the other active lace. But with these, it was weird. It was just like it fills out in this really strange way. Like whatever frequencies it's adding, it just fills everything out. So a lot of times when I switch to another guitar, especially recording, I find it harder to double track with another guitar with this one, just because this one sounds so full on the one side, and the other one, you know, is a little bit empty. And I'm like, I think I just need to double track with this one. So it'll be fun to do another. I did a metal song a while back when I demoed the Revv Generator 100P. I used this guitar on like everything, and it was really fun. So I'm excited to start writing a song for this guitar to demo it finally. Can you expect a full-length album? That I don't know. You know, what I hope to kind of do is, if the EP does pretty well, is kind of take that money and kind of sock it away, and then think about either taking it and buying plugins and stuff so I can get better at mixing and stuff like that myself. Because right now I'm just using all stock plugins that come with Logic. You know, I've never bought anything. Like I said, I legitimately, not trying to be funny or self-deprecating or anything like that. It's just I haven't read up enough about recording to really know what I'm doing. So I think I just want to take. I think that's what that money should go towards. You know, is investing in that, and then investing in you know, maybe some books and stuff like that about recording. Thank you, Mitch. It's, you know what? It's a lot. You know, kudos to guys like Pete Thorne. You know, I think Sean Tubbs mixes sound good. Leo from Frog League, Fluff. All those guys who can take the time to learn guitar and write songs and all that kind of stuff, and then also understand miking and recording. Everything is its own art form. Like, you don't realize it until you start diving into it, and you're just like, oh my god. There's so much, and you get into camera stuff. It's you know, it's daunting. You got to wear a lot of hats. So Bon Jovi. Try a Chapman. I used to own 4 Chapmans. Recording is very deep in time. Yeah, it really is, you know. And you just have to understand what all these different things do. You guys help me develop. Oh man, I missed. It's gone. The comment's gone. Yeah, man, there's so much to learn. What scales are the Van Halen? You know what? I'm gonna do a video. So I did a video a while back that you guys seemed to like, called "The Secret to Sounding Like Jimmy Page," or like this, you know, it's kind of like, it was more about the scale that Jimmy Page uses, and I was thinking about doing Eddie Van Halen next. So you guys can let me know if you think that's a good idea. Eddie does a lot of, I mean, Eddie's Eddie. He's crazy. He basically plays what he wants when he wants to, all the time. But there's a lot of things he does, you know, that are really, really cool. Let me get a guitar with a whammy bar. I see people are requesting Panama. But, you know, Eddie... So Eddie just does so many cool things in his playing. So I was thinking about doing some stuff with him next. Sorry, the camera keeps freezing, and it's driving me insane. Do 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 do. Panama, Panama, oh, 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 oh. Sorry, I gotta plug this charger in, or the camera's gonna die. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Hold up. Here we go. Oh, that would have been too perfect if that light would have worked like that. Let's see if I can do this. Alright, well, we'll soon know if I plug that in right or not. Because either the stream will just die, my phone will die. How many guitars and amps do I have? Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'm going to do a studio tour and then a guitar collection video and then an amp collection video where I'm going to kind of take you through each amp, play it a little bit, talk about how I record stuff, and then I'm going to do a guitar video. The reason I haven't done that stuff because someone brought it to my attention that the most searched thing about me on YouTube is the guitar collection. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that just because there's so many, you know, other people who have these insane collections of guitars. And I was like, oh, I need to do that then. But I want to wait till I get the Whitfield and if the planets align and I, you know, get a classic T. I'd like to wait till there's no more guitars kind of like in my radar. That way I'm not leaving anything out. But that will be happening at some point. I feel like this thing is not updating. Ice Cream Man. Would I ever try a frameless guitar? Oh, I did. Well, I tried the television P90 at GitCon, and I really liked it. That was a fantastic sounding guitar and playing. Do you play? I don't know too many Pink Floyd songs, unfortunately. You know, I've never really got into them. I know. Obviously, you know, David Gilmour is an amazing guitar player. For kids. Oh, well, thank you so much. That's incredibly nice of you. Big Zepp fan, same here. If I download your EP from Apple Music app, do you get anything for it? You know, I don't know. Because I don't fully understand what Apple Music is on iTunes. So I linked it to the actual iTunes thing. but I'm not sure what happens if you download it from Apple Music. Yeah, you know, I know a lot of guys who don't like Van Halen. You know, it took me a long time to get into and appreciate Jimi Hendrix and his stuff. I mean, you know, a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, but you know, never really got into Hendrix until the past few years, actually. What pedal am I using? I'm not using any pedals. I'm a lazy, lazy man, I'm afraid. Do you recommend an actual amp or a rhythm guitar player? Oh, sorry. Strike. Or stick to a multi-effects pedals and monitors? You know what? It just depends. You know, thankfully now with stuff like the 2 Notes, Torpedo, you know, Live or Reload or Captor, you can get a real amp and just kind of do whatever you want with it nowadays. So you could stick to either. Kids want to know when I'm going on tour. I don't know if I'm a tour guy or not, but I am going to China in a couple weeks, and then when I get back, I might be going to Texas, and then it'll be the holidays, and then it's back out to Nam, and I'm doing a bunch of stuff out there, and then I think next year is going to be pretty busy. This year's been busy, but I think next year's going to be more busy. Let's start back. Oh yeah, you know what? Sorry, I forgot. I want to show you guys because someone was asking about the relicking, and like I said, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but if you look at it, you can see it's actually pretty beat up. You know, whenever I got to see the first picture of it, I didn't think it was relicked at all. They're like, it's very lightly relicked. But when you really look at it, you can see it's pretty beat up. I don't think you can see the cracks, but I love that they crack the finishes. There you go. You can kind of see them. And I already hit it the other day and put a nice little nick in it. And I was like, all right, it's home. Yo, this is where you live now. You get played. And Lenny or Floods? I'd go Lenny. You know, I like Floods. Floods is really cool. Play it right now, but studios for the money. I've played some studios I really liked and other ones that I didn't care for too much. What do you do for a living? Well, I dent guitars. So that's the classic T that I was looking at that they had sold, but it was very relic. Like it looked like someone had a bad day and took out some anger on this guitar, and it was like way past what I normally like to be relic, and it was like so far past it that it was just like amazing to look at it. I was like, I don't even care. I was like, that guitar is beautiful. So it's funny. I've just come to, you know, accept it. Some people are still very much against relicking and stuff like that, and I just view it as like it's like another way of painting or something like that, you know. Like my Cronus is relicked. What else do I have? Do I have another relic guitar? I thought I did. I mean, I have some with natural relicking, like the Crackle Charvel actually has quite a few, you know, chunks knocked out of it. My Les Paul, you know, it's almost 40 years old, so it's got some natural relicking on it. But I've really liked it, and it's not from like a standpoint of like, oh look, I want to like fake people out that I've been playing this guitar for 100 years. Yeah, the Cronus is relicked. Ugh. I think they did a good job of that too. Let's see. Back there. Again, I've put a couple extra dents in it. But it's not from that kind of standpoint. It's like I said, I just view it as like another way of painting, you know, a guitar. So. I ever worked with Marty Schwartz? No, I haven't. He was at NAMM one year, but I didn't get to meet him. Someone stole all my right-handed guitars and replaced them with left-handed guitars. I know, I had... Okay, so that's the thing. I've been playing left-handed for like, you know, what is it? Like 50 minutes now. So I'm still kind of... I'm just trying to get used to it. The left hand's really not used to this, but... So yours was the same old song and dance video. Get yourself a cool and baby. I can't remember the lyrics right now. Best Les Paul style guitar isn't a Gibson. I was just talking about that. It is this one right here. Bam. I've played a lot of them. And I think that this one, because I feel like they're not trying to be a Gibson. You know? It doesn't play like a Gibson, doesn't feel like a Gibson. It feels like a perfect marriage between a Strat and a Les Paul. Because it's got a thinner body. It's not that huge. I mean, it's still a thick body, but it's got comfort cuts on it. It's not a million pounds. It still has a big, you know, C neck on it. Ebony board. You know, you name it. But, you know, it just feels like its own thing. Yeah, I did a video on the G3. You know, I have it somewhere. There we go. Here we go. So I have a G3. You know, full disclosure about that, I did not buy this. You know, I'm very good friends with the Revv guys, and they did give this to me. But I reviewed it, and you know, I still critiqued it and stuff like that. And you know, I was just kind of like, you know, I wish it changed colors when you flip the different switches and stuff like that. Overall, it's a very, like I said, I'm gonna have a pedal board project going on, and this will be going on it as my high gain pedal. So that one's a, I should mention that when someone was talking about distortions. That's a really good one for just, it's high gain, but I actually like it more with the gain rolled pretty low. The guitar pit! Amount of little vocals on it. Really impressed with your clear... Thanks, buddy. I was just talking about you a minute ago, actually. Nothing but bad stuff, so don't worry. Did I miss the EP songs? No, I haven't played them or anything like that. Do you guys want to hear one of the songs off the EP? I have a backing track for one of them. Good morning from Munich. Wow, good morning. Okay, yeah, so we will play one of them. Don't ask me the name. This is the one that everybody asks for. It's my outro music. Look. see if I can find the backing track for that one. Tell me, hopefully the levels are okay. How are the levels? There's a very unpracticed version of that song. I don't know if it was epic. The one part I messed up. Where can you buy my EP? It should be the first link in this video, actually. It's on iTunes. The EP is called 12 Notes, 6 Strings. But it's also linked in there, I believe. At least it should be. If I did it correctly, which means it's probably not. I do too, you know what? Yeah, I've been, Is that the Friedman? Yes, this is the Friedman Cali. The pickups do not split on here. Nope. And I really don't think you need to. A couple different reasons. For one, on all the guitars that I've had splitting pickups in, I've never liked the sound of the pickup split. You know, to me, it sounds kind of like a single coil, but it's like a fake single coil. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just kind of like, I just don't like the way that sounds. So I have a couple guitars with, you know, coil splits in them, and I never use them. It was like a total waste of my time to put them in there. So I didn't even bother, you know, thinking about that with this one. And like I said, these pickups are very bright. You know, they're very like, there's like a lot like spank and kind of sparkle to them. So I really don't think there's a need for something like that, because if I roll my volume down, you know, they almost sound like single coils, but not in like the bad split humbucker sounding like a single coil way. It's just a brighter humbucker. You know what I'm saying. The middle position, who knows? I don't even know. Who uses middle position? It has like a telly quack. So here's the same lick in all positions. So here's bridge, middle, neck. So you can hear how much louder that bridge is. The middle actually sounds pretty good. And yeah, it's not too bad. I've just never really been a fan of the middle position on a double humbucker guitar. I like neck and I like bridge. The neck is not thin, and that is why I love it. So many of these like super strat guitars have these crazy thin necks on them. It's not like a super fat neck, not like the Acacia or anything like that, but it feels like that's the one thing I don't like about my Revv. And I love my Revv because it's all 80s out and stuff like that. But dude, the neck on it is tiny. It's a very thin neck, and it just my hand wraps around it so much. You can see, I mean, it's like my thumb's in the middle of the neck, right there. There's the middle, and my hand still wraps all the way around the neck. But with this one, I'm trying to find a place to put the guitar down. You know, it's not. See how my hands aren't like going around it too much, because the other one it's like it's small to the point where it's almost uncomfortable. Well, it is uncomfortable. It's not almost. But I play it because it's all 80'd out. So this one, like I said, when I played these, it was like the neck that I wanted on a guitar like this. So I would either want the neck to be like this one, or if it was bigger, I wouldn't care. You know, it's when they get smaller and thinner that I have issues with them. And that's just because of my hands, you know. Because for whatever reason, when necks get thinner this way, they get wider this way. I don't understand it. And if you're a person like me who plays with their thumb over the neck all the time for chords and, you know, and all that kind of stuff, it's a pain. Maybe to compensate for the neck pocket. I don't know. And you know, some people were saying, talking about that, it's still the, you know, standard bolt neck idea. And I think it doesn't affect me because I've just, you know, always had guitars like this. So it's just totally comfortable and normal for me to. But I don't have any issues getting all the way up here. And this is like no man's land. I never play up here. You out here, Quentin? I gotta check out your videos, buddy. Hey, I know why it's so quiet and weird in here. Yeah, baby. I didn't have my air conditioner. I'm like, I'm getting hot. Oh, thank you, Gary. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciated you getting the album, dude. Here they are. Yeah, man, you know, they just like, they feel like their own thing, you know, is what I like about them. Of my hair, well, thank you. And my hair says thank you. We're gonna miss you the fall at Guitar Fest. I know, man. I was so bummed. Jeremy was telling me the dates. I knew it was in October, and I was just like, please don't say it's like from the 7th to the 14th. And he was like, it's the 14th, and I was like, ah, yeah, the 14th. I will either. Well, no, I probably won't be home till the 15th. The 14th, I'll be coming off of like a 15-hour plane ride, so, and I'll have some pretty intense jet lag going on for that next week. So there's no way possible for me to do that. Even if it was the next day, I wouldn't want to stay home with my family and stuff like that, because you know, it's always the bummer and the downside to traveling is, you know, missing them so much, but. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Reverse. I know, I don't know why YouTube's doing this now. YouTube was like the only one that didn't reverse stuff. And now they've done it. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Oh. Oh, wrong chord. Sorry. Any fellow Ohio people in here? Front cam, selfie cam, or reverse piece. Yeah, so I'm using the selfie cam. That's why it's reversing it. And I can't use the other one because I don't have a way to see your guys' comments if I do it the other way. So next time I'll get my computer in here, and I can see. Can I reverse it right now? See, I can't, oh wait, can I? There's the corner. I could reverse it right now. I just don't have anything to put my laptop on. Premiere on my ceiling. You hear my Axe-Specs right now. I'm going to Guitar Center and stuff tomorrow. And Sam Ash. Down in, well, it's not Polaris, but it's kind of Polaris. Cleveland, Ohio. Nice! New Sweetwater? Oh, yeah, see, Sweetwater is like 4 hours from me. So, and no, I'm we're going down there just to kind of spend like a family day. But my wife is getting a new camera lens, and I just want to go there and look at stuff. We'll just be there. So. First electric guitar was a Samick, and my first amp was like a no-name brand called like an Excel or something like that. Yeah, Brian Kearns is my guy at Sweetwater. Brian's the man. Sweet. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know what? I love it. I think what stuck out to me about the Friedman, because someone was talking about, you know, for the same money you could get a Sur or something like that, and you totally can. And you know, Surs are fantastic. I've played a bunch of them. They're great guitars. But what the Cali had that none of the Surs had that I had played was it had personality to it. You know, I don't mean that in a way like, you know, like, oh, it was a bubbly personality. It's just when I played it, it felt unique, you know, and it felt like a one-of-a-kind kind of deal. So that was why it stuck out to me. And, of course, you know, I'm a big 80s guy. I want a guitar built by Grover Jackson. So there were a lot of factors that come into it. And I'm sure that, you know, meaning something extra to me adds extra emphasis on, you know, me looking into it more, you know, from a standpoint of I'm just like, oh, you know, this is Grover Jackson. So I think that, you know, adds a certain excitement, you know, for me. So that's just my opinion on it. But to each their own. Everybody should play what they want. If they made that Friedman and Surf Green, that would be cool. They do, actually. They sure do. They make like another one called a Classic S. And I guess that's one thing that I definitely like about Friedman is that like they named the one Classic T, Classic S. They're like, listen, we're just gonna be straight up. This is a Tele style guitar. This is a Strat style guitar. Just like we're just laying it on the table for you. So. Steve is back! Steve is back! Steve is back! Wrong key. And close-up of the pickups. Sure thing. I don't remember what the pickups are called. Classic something. There you have it. So they're just black. I can't remember what they're called. This one's like a Classic Plus. It's a little bit hotter. And this one is a Classic something. I don't know what that style of metal is. Nice and thin. Yeah, they are. They're not like those huge, like, crazy big ones or anything like that. Acacia doesn't have big ones on it either. I don't think I have any guitars with, like, you know what? My Les Paul has obnoxious rings on it. Ugh. Look at these suckers. Now those are some pickup rings right there. Look at those things. Those aren't some rings, these are rings. Sorry, a little Crocodile Dundee reference there, if anybody caught it. Yeah, so these are little rings. Surfing with the Alien. I can't remember the exact rhythm. Action with the chords. Oh, you know what? I remember Jeff Loomis thing, but he's Jeff Loomis, and well, I'm not. It's some kind of like he does this. I can't remember it. Have a great night. Tora. Your boots were made for walking. And one day I'll walk all over you. I remember the lick I stole from that. There's a solo to that song. Of course there is. It's an 80s song. They do like this little chromatic thing. It's like the Paul Gilbert thing, but with chromatic. I just remember I thought that was so cool for some reason. Cause it was like out of key basically. That might have been what it was. It's funny how you just log away some of these, licks. In this rhythm. Everybody does that. Maybe. Larson needs to take. Larson needs to take a lesson in humility. I'm not sure who that is. How do you shred like that? Well, I think like real shredders like Michelangelo and stuff like that. They're real shredders. I'm not. And there's some guys who are so good at it. I feel like Paul Gilbert is really good. And, a lot of it is just memorizing. What I used to always do, and I still do this all the time, and this helped me out a bunch, is taking a scale, and I still try to do this a lot. Like I said, like there's your C major scale, and basically I pick a point, and one thing I started doing a long time ago that helped me a lot is I focused on the root tone of whatever the chord is that's happening in the background. So if you had a chord progression that was out of the key of C, so we'll say it's something simple, like C major, go to an A minor, and then let's see, C, and then we go to D, D minor, and then G. So it's like a 1-6-2-5. So. Okay, so there's your chord progression. So without trying to outline the individual chords, I would just try to get from point A to point B out on my C major scale and make sure I was landing on the chord note as it changed. So when I was on the C, I'd play. When I went to the A minor, I would try to make sure the next note was D. Okay, there's my D. Then I go to the G, so I was like, where's my G at? You know, and you just... So I would come up with different patterns that got me from point A to point B. And, you know, or like different, like, more maybe like shreddy things or something like that, you know. Something like that, get you there. It's all just a pattern, though. So almost like mixing in modes, outline chords. Yeah, that's essentially what I always tried to do, without being like a jazz person who really knows what they're doing and understands the chord tones that are happening. Because I know a little bit of that stuff, but not like enough. Because, you know, I approach things more like a rock guitar player would. But you know, I try to acknowledge it. Oh, the song's not out yet. Oh, it is. It's on the EP. I can't think of the name of the song. The riff is this. So it has this very like Mixolydian kind of vibe. Anyways, there's a part in the song, it works through all this different stuff, and there's a solo, and then it goes to... And while it's over that, I'm playing over the E. Then it changes to your E, E13 or whatever it is. Or sorry, A. When I do that, I go to A note. So I'm playing over the E, but I'm playing notes that are more relative to that A. Then it goes to the B, and I outline the B. Then it goes to the A, I go. So I'm outlining the chords, mixing them with the scale, stuff like that. So, yeah. So when I go to that A, it has that Phrygian. Because I'm going a straight A minor. Now before, what I did over the E, basically like the E9, is I was playing my pentatonic scale, but I was adding that major third sound in there, because you know, over that 9, you can really get away with a mix, basically just straight up Mixolydian. Over that, you know, you don't even have to like do anything different. Sorry, you can't see my hands. And that's why when I changed chord, I went to more E minor, which, oh wait, no, that's not the way it works. Yes, I'm E minor. Then I go to the B. Like I said, I'm outlining the chord straight up like it is. Then A. So, sorry to nerd out on you guys there. I won't do that again. Yeah, the modes are awesome once you kind of know like the flavor of them. Nerds rule. That stuff's just always, it's fun to me. But like I said, I don't know a lot, you know, compared to so many other players. So much of it is just, you know, ear. Were you when you started playing guitar? I was 15. When I actually started, like, you know, learning chords and stuff like that. Make a series like that, Robert. Make up some theory. Paranoid. There's Paranoid. Guitar. I don't know what those words were. They went by too fast. Can you play some? I don't know too much Maiden, unfortunately. You know, when I got more into Maiden, you know, Maiden's amazing. It was right around the time I got into metal, and I got into Metallica, and then I got into Pantera, and Pantera took over everything when I got into metal stuff. Oh, soda or pop? Oh, man. Well, if you're an Ohio guy, you probably say pop. I say pop. And every time I go out to California to visit my buddy Greg and Scott and Tom and all those guys, they always laugh. And even we went to a restaurant, and I asked what kind of pop they had, and the girl actually didn't know what I was even talking about. She was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then Greg's just like, "He means soda." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Yo, I'm an Ohio guy. Colorado guy, and say soda." Yeah, you know, it would be weird to hear someone say soda here. Everyone says pop. Ever tried? Wisconsin says soda. Maybe it's only Ohio. Jazz, a little bit of jazz. You know, I spent some time learning some George Benson, stuff like that. I like him a lot. A little bit of Joe Pass, Pat Martino. Main Street. There we go. New Jersey is soda. Yeah, baby. Maybe it's a more like Northeast thing. Rock and roll. I don't know that one though. Drank. My dad, I think he would probably say Coke. He'd call it Coke. Regardless of what it is. No, he'd say pop. He'd say pop. The reason why that's significant is he's from South Carolina. I don't remember any Trivium, but for a while there, I really got into Trivium and All That Remains. I think Ollie Herbert is a crazy good guitar player. Might as well go for soda. Trying to remember it. My buddy Derek knows that one, but he's Canadian, so it doesn't count. It's only cool if you're not Canadian, you know how to play that song. New guitar sounds good. Thank you so much. Someone said jabroni. Yeah, dig. I'm glad you dig it so much. Yeah, you know, like I said, I like all my guitars. You know, I love the Cronus. I like this one. I love my Vola. They all feel like super unique. And I think that's more the thing that I chase nowadays than anything else, is that they feel different to me. You know. And there's something about that first interaction you have with a guitar, like the moment your hand touches the neck. And I've had this with all of my favorite guitars. Like I said, the Cronus, the Acacia, the Vola, all these different guitars, is that first moment when your hand wraps around the neck, and you're just like, oh, you know, and when it gets your attention right away, like that fast, I feel like you know that you have like a guitar that is like significant, you know, to you right away, because it's your hands that spend the most, you know, spend all the time on the guitar. So if they're already kind of like feeling the mojo out of it, call it pop. You know, I think that says a lot about any instrument, because some people ask like, dude, another Strat, that's exactly what you need. I'm like, well, it's not another Strat, you know, they all are different. You know, every single one. They might have the Strat body. This is just a body style that I like the most. Like, I feel the most comfortable on this thing. I love my Les Paul, but it's a rhythm guitar for me. You know, I like writing riffs and stuff on it. But a Strat body is my favorite. So then when you find a Strat body that feels different, sounds different, all that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh well, I want that one. Hurricanes that hit the Carolinas. Yeah, you know, so my dad lives in South Carolina now. But I think they didn't get hit too bad. So I had called and, you know, checked in on them and stuff. And he was doing good then. That was when it was already kind of like dying off. And I haven't heard from him yet this week, so I'm going to call him soon. What's the main basis for your gain, drive, pedals, or amp? I don't like too much distortion, because my big thing is, and it, like again, the Fishman pickups are kind of like an anomaly for me, but I typically like a lower output pickup, and I like to push the amp more. This guitar does not gent. I can confirm that. This guitar does not gent. Play guitar on acid. It's nothing short of amazing. I have not. Have to say I stay pretty far away from, actually very far away from all drugs. You know, closed back or open back, I've only ever had closed back, to be honest, so I don't have experience with open back. But I've never had, I guess like my one Panama cabinet, which is closed back, is kind of woofy, but like the Revv cabinet sounds really good. And I actually have a Friedman cabinet on the way here that they were nice enough to send me, because I am going to demo. You guys can't see it. Oh, you can kind of see it right there. That's the Friedman BE50 Deluxe, and I just asked them because they wanted to use the video for their own stuff. I was like, oh, well then, you know, what do you think about sending me a cab so it looks really nice, you know, more uniform that way? And they were like, okay. So yeah, so that would be cool. So they're sending a 212 that I don't get to keep that stuff, but I like stuff to match. I say that as I have a green amp sitting there and a white amp on my green cabinet. Do y'all have Dr. Pepper? Yeah! Woo! We just became friends. If it ain't Dr. Pepper, man, who's got time for it? If we're being honest here. Do I have a wah? I do. I had like 5 wahs at one time. I had the Zach Wild one. We have I think we still have the original kind of Vox Crybaby. I had a Mark Tremonti wah. I had another one. And then I have the Carl Martin 2 wah. And then there's oh, I posted a picture of it, so I guess I can't talk about it. I can't say too much, but I did post a picture. One of the things that Friedman had talked to me about was demoing their wah, and I was like, oh yeah, that's great, because I was doing some wah videos that I wanted to do anyways. And I'll just say this, it's the one that's going on my board. So, it's very good. String gauge 10 to 46, my man. 10 to 46 on all guitars, even Les Paul, even though it's 24 3/4. Still rock. I still rock 10 to 46. Kind of noisy. You know, I do think actually, I think cable does make some difference. I have some, you know, different cables that I've used. Like, I think it makes more of a difference where you can have like I use like the Hosa Edge cables, and these are, you know, nice cables. They're not like ridiculously expensive or anything like that. Compared to a cheap cable, it does. I recently got, sorry, there was another question I wanted to answer. The weight, like, on that Strat. The weight's not bad, you know, I'd say it's like, maybe 7 pounds? I'm not sure, I don't have a way to weigh it. It's not uncomfortable or heavy at all. My Charbel is heavier than this guitar, and the Charbel is a smaller body. So it's not like too light, like sometimes if a guitar is too light, I don't like it. You know, I like it to have a little bit of weight to it, but... Dance, I know, right? But recently, so I've always just used power supplies to power pedals that were just kind of like the cheapo, like, you know, $10 ones you buy at Walmart. I never thought much about it. I just, you know, that's what I was available, so I bought those. And the guys at Dan Electro asked me if I had tried their new Snark power supply, which is kind of like a one-spot kind of deal, I guess, is what people were telling me. And I was like, oh no. He's like, dude, it gets rid of like noise and all this stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool, yeah. And he's, we'll send you one. So he sent me one, and I have really bad noise in here, like real bad power. And I've always had noise with pedals and stuff like that. So he sent it to me, and I plugged it in, and the noise was gone. I was like, what? And I plugged in the old power and sort of, plugged in the other one, and I was like, that's crazy. I didn't know a power supply made that big of a difference to adding noise to your signal. So I was really impressed. Any chords for arpeggios that are better than others? Yeah, I guess it all comes down to like personal preference. What chords you like, and you learn how to use them. So the chords that I've always favored is I like minor sevens a lot because they're involved in like your pentatonic scale. Like that was all just A minor 7 arpeggios. Just there. I like a lot of like add 9 arpeggios. So if I'm doing like G, so there's your 9 or your second, And I always like that sound a lot. It probably because Eric Johnson, but I also like major 7 arpeggios a lot. Those seem to work really well. There's lots of different ways to do that. Lots of different ways to do those as well. And then like a dominant 7. So those are like the primary shapes. And then you're like, of course, you're like typical major, minor, and then your major. I recommend starting with those, just like your major and minor, and learn them all over the place. Start with just like your 2-string version of like if you're doing like A major. Sorry. Get to where you can descend them, then move into 3-string. Then do 6, and just get to where you can really move those around, and you'll be surprised. You get to where, and the more you understand chord progressions, I think that should be stressed more than learning a bunch of arpeggios. Is if you understand how chord progressions work, then you can outline all these arpeggios you want to do. Sorry. Yep. Then you can really start navigating around. Sorry, the comments aren't loading. Yeah, so once you understand chord progressions, like I said, that should be stressed first, is understanding how to build them, how chords go together, and that kind of thing. And there's so many cool things you can do inside of them. Sorry. So I think that helped me a lot with understanding chord progressions, because like in the No Other Way, I think it's the 4th song on my EP. I already played this stuff earlier, but basically what happens is the song goes from and then I'm sorry. And then it goes into these minor 7s. And behind this next section right here, So behind that, it's going. So I have, those notes, and I need to know what to outline those with. Some Dave dude, for some, the best use fair-haired rockers. Yeah. For some, the best for us fair-haired rockers. Yo, man, all about the Pantene. No, what? So since we moved, so what happened? This is like super nerdy to get into, but I had I can't remember what shampoo I used before. Again, this is like super nerdy, but when we moved here, we live in town now. We used to live way out in the country, so we had well water, and we moved into the city with all the city water and stuff. It gave me like dandruff and stuff like that. So I forget what the kind of shampoo I use now, but it's not like Head and Shoulders, it's something else. But yeah, it sucked. Nothing but nerds here. So there's your hair care tip of the night. Yes, thank you everyone for all the super chats. That's crazy. To learn and use arpeggios during improvised solo, isn't it? Yes, it is. Because in order to use them properly, you really have to know what's happening in the background. So if you're just like off the cuff jamming with someone, again, this just goes back to understanding chord progressions. A lot of times if you're like jamming with another rock guy or something like that, so if they do a chord progression that's like this, maybe they're doing some kind of riff like so essentially you had no real chord tones there. You just had I was playing roots and fifths, power chords. And so I did the 1-6-2-5 again. But knowing your chords and knowing your scales, I know what those chords are supposed to be. I'm saying like, they can be anything, but I know what they're supposed to be. So the G is supposed to be major. It's like, okay, well I could outline that. And then I know that the E, which is the 6, is minor. So I'm like, okay. I know that the 2 is minor. That's an A. And then I know that the 5 is major, which would be a D. And it just depends where you want to play. So I could essentially outline that if I wanted to. And then what I went to E. Sorry. And we go down to the A. And then to the D. So that stuff helps a lot, and like I said, it just goes back to that chord progression knowledge. Helps so much in situations like that. Which is a good thing. Quentin, dude, bust out that helix and just shred all night long. So yeah, so it all just kind of goes back into each other. And I can't stress it enough that I don't know a lot of this stuff. So you can do a lot with a little bit of knowledge. So you don't have to think that you need to take the next year learning how to play 1,000 different chords and all that stuff. Because it's like, I think my favorite stuff, anyways, for me is that balance of, like I said, knowing a little, but always trusting your ear. Even when you play something, you're like, this makes no sense. Why? It's like, I still have no clue what this chord is, but I used it in a song because it just sounded right. It helps if I turn my volume on. know, I don't know what these chords are, and I never looked into them. I was like, whatever it is. So that's just kind of how that stuff works for me. Am I chasing the bother? Yeah, you know that I think it's why I'm not good at like playing stuff like replicating another guitar player 100% because I never learned it. I just kind of like I always got distracted. You know, I would start learning. It happened the other day. I was learning Stevie Ray Vaughan like. Can't remember what it did exactly. It's from Texas Flood, which it was already like I learned, but there's one later on, and he did it, and I just got sidetracked. I was like, oh, I could use that here, you know, and I love stuff like that. It's helpful playing some leads. You know what? I use kind of a weird pick. You see that? It's pretty big. It's called a Dragonheart pick, and they're 2.5 millimeters, so they're very heavy. But what's I think the most unique about them is they have 3 different edges. But if you look at the way that the pick is beveled, so my pick really glides across the strings. And I think this is the strongest aspect of these picks, is the way that the edges are on them. Oh, and there it goes. And if you want to be a total nerd, you can get your logo put on there. Jesus, I just dropped it again. Yeah, but I've been using these for quite a while. Rest in peace, pick. Hey, Sam, man, I'm so sorry I had to cancel the lesson. I had to cancel with every student today because of the internet. And our internet went out like 15 minutes before the first lesson I had today. I was just like, dang it. One side more. Yeah, I only use one side pretty much all the time. It's that one. It's like the normal side. I put the dragon logo down. And that's pretty much the only side I use on these. You can use the other ones. I know a lot of people who do, but anybody who ever wants these, I always forget, but I have like I don't know if it still works. It's like a running promo code that's in the description of all my videos like, later on, because I am a Dragonheart artist, so I'm not trying to like trick anybody into getting these picks. But Corey gave me a promo code a long time ago, and I told him I was like, oh, I'll just put it in my descriptions, just keep it active. So sometimes it runs out, and then I just have to remind him. Someone will message me like, hey, your promo code's not working. Original card. Yeah, I use the original. That's the one that I always liked. Then second would be the GT. So the original and the GT are the two I like the most. And probably of the main big 4 ones, the Pure is probably my least favorite. Yeah, we're Eastern. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 12:30. Break up. Case music. Can you get on to the change everything? We need a game changer. I don't think I'm good enough to do that, man. But I'm happy to have such a positive response to it. It's on the EP. Oh, thank you so much, Sam. Sounds great. Oh, I really appreciate that. You know, it was really, I don't know the right word, humbling, but also just kind of like, I don't know the right word. I guess humbling would be the best way to put it. But when I saw people sharing it around on Facebook and stuff like that, just friends and then people tagging me and stuff, it was really cool. You know, I was just like, wow. Can I read music? You know what? Back in the day, I could a little bit. I got into it, but it's one of those things I always tell people: if you don't use it, you lose it. So I haven't for years, and I was never very good at it because I didn't practice it that much. But I definitely would be so bad at it now. Do you know you went nationwide? You went past nationwide to world? I don't know why this thing is just not showing up tonight. Music theory. What is in China? So I am going to the China Music, or the Shanghai Music Fair, for Vola. You guys know I do a lot with them. Right there. I started off the live show playing the Volas right there. And I'll be playing a lot. And my buddies at Joyo asked me if I wanted to play at their booth too. They have a huge booth with a big stage. I was like, shoot, yeah. So lots of playing and stuff like that. And I was telling them, I was like, you know, I'd rather play it the entire time, because otherwise you just stand around. You know, you have a lot of downtime. So I think I will be playing 18 sets now. Was 17? I think I'm doing 18 different sets now within 3 days. So it'll be nuts, and I'm pumped because there's a couple times where basically I'll finish playing at one booth and I have 10 minutes to get to the next one. Need some facial expression. You know what? I don't want to. You know, I don't like try or not try to do anything. I just play. So I don't want to be like making the faces because I feel like I have to, you know? I don't know why it's just not showing up. Ooh, I don't know the BPMs. Or is that a fake face? Yeah, 18 sets. Yeah, it'll be intense. So I'm about 2 weeks away now. So I'm gonna start, you know, really rehearsing the stuff and practicing standing up more and all that good stuff. But you know, that'll be busy because and then I gotta get all the videos that'll go up while I'm gone. So lots to do. But you know, I'm always happier to be busy. Never complain about being a busy musician. fresh. Keep crack. Oh, thank you so much, David. That's extremely kind of you. Favorite food? You know, I like barbecue stuff, man. I'm a ribs and steak kind of guy. Your album's off. Thank you so much. Sorry to catch the name. Roman, thank you. Gotta go. Keep on rockin', Rob. Admire your skills. Oh, thank you so much, man. Have a great night. My eyes are getting heavy. That's why I looked at what time it was. I was like, man, I'm kind of getting tired. I think my buddy, the Tone King, is he live? Someone said he might be going live soon. If you haven't, he's working hard to get to 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't checked out his channel, definitely go check him out. Oh, he is live. All right. Well, I'll probably be hopping over there and hanging out in the chat. Trying to better start digging now. I know China just got hit with a typhoon. So, which city? I'll be in Shanghai. Yep. So I will be in Shanghai, and I'm so excited. I'm really excited about this. You know, obviously to be there and to play and all that stuff. But so many times when I go to these places, like NAMM or any of these trade shows, I never get to see anything. And that's not complaining. I don't want it to sound like I'm whining. But you know, you're in the convention center all day, and then you get there in the morning and you leave at night. So you never get to see, like last time I was in China, I didn't get to see anything other than basically walking to the car, driving to the place, and stuff like that. So we actually have a half day off before the show starts, and we're gonna go to like basically sightseeing. So I'll actually get to see some of China, and I'm like super pumped up about that, because it's always funny when someone asks me like, oh, you know, wherever you are, Texas, Anaheim, Nashville, how was it? I was like, oh, it's great. I mean, you're in the convention center all day, but I do not listen to that radio station. Is it a lung disease from smoking? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. When and where in Shanghai? I'm not sure. I fly into to Pudong, I believe, and they pick me up there. And other than that, I don't know. Man, I do not know the BPMs of those. I'd say Find the Way is probably like 120. Oh. For a live, yeah, I'm doing a lot of live sets over there. Just meeting and stuff like that. So, and then next year, I might be at the Guitar Summit in Germany. Do I know Kiko? I don't know Kiko personally, but I'm a fan of Kiko's for sure. Kiko's amazing. You out of here, MT? Have a great night. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap things up. Germany. But yeah, so we're gonna bounce on out of here, guys. Like I said, my buddy Tone King's live. He's trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, so definitely go check him out. And I'll say one thing real quick. I wanted to say this before we go. A couple different things I should say. we're getting really close to hitting 190,000 subscribers, and what I want to do for next month is I want to try to hit 200,000 next month. So I have videos I've been kind of like holding off on making that are a lot of work, but I'm really excited because of the 200,000 subscriber giveaway that we've put up. It's gonna be awesome. You know, it's literally the best stuff I think I've ever given away on the channel. So it's taken a few months to line it all up, but hopefully I'd love to hit that next month, and then we would have November to run it and stuff like that, because otherwise if it happens in December, I probably will wait until January to run the giveaway. But other than that, I'm stinking pumped. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So other than that, guys, yo, we out of here, and yes, the giveaway will be worldwide. Joy, thank you. Hey, Showman, thank you so much, man. I'm glad you caught it. Chris, Alex, Sam, Big Red Tower, all you guys, thank you all so much. Peace out, homies. I'm gonna go hang out on Tone King's live stream for a little bit if he's still live, and I think I'm gonna practice some guitar while I'm watching it. So have a great night, everybody. Good weekend. Thank you all. I mean it so much. Thank you all so much for purchasing the EP. It's crazy. Like I said, I don't know how many people have done it, but just if all the tagging and messages is any indication, it's a million times more than what I thought it would be. So I appreciate that, and all the people who super chatted here tonight. That's all. You're all so generous. So I really do appreciate that. And other than that, happy birthday, Rick. Whoa. There you go. Later, guys. Have a good night. Have a great Sunday. And if you're in Columbus, hey, like I said, I'll be at Guitar Center and Sam Ash at some point tomorrow. So thank you, Big Red Tower, again for sharing that link. All right. Later, guys. I'll see you all on the flippity flop later. Wow, I'm really tired. Bye.